bring you coverage of 3 Central South Dakota teams from the State B tournament. We will see and hear from White River later on tonight. We will hear from the Lyman Raiders a little later on this afternoon. They'll play the second game against Viborg Hurley, but today we start with the 8th seed, Lower Brule Sioux, as they take on the top seed in the Smet Bulldogs. Hi, everybody. Brian Oakland in today. Darren Boyle will be covering the Chamberlain Cubs from the State A tournament today and tomorrow, so I'll be here throughout the weekend on KPLO and or KGFX AM, as will be the case with the White River game coming up tonight when Chamberlain is on here at KPLO. Lower Brule and DeSmet. Lower Brule coming in on a 10-game winning streak. Even though they're the 8th seed, aren't going to be a lot of teams playing playing better than what Lower Brule is right now. They put on a shooting display in defeating the Potter County Battlers in their Sodax 16 match. Lower Brule was the 13 overall seed out of the final 16. They defeated number 4 Potter County. Now they'll try to take on number 1 DeSmet. And DeSmet comes in with just 1 loss on the season. We'll look at it a little more closely in just a little bit. Coverage of the Sioux from the State B basketball tournament brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino, as well as First Dakota National Bank in Chamberlain, Byrie Brothers, Chamberlain Ready Mix, Oasis Pump and Pack, by Riverview Chevrolet, Buick and Marine, and by C&B Operations of Chamberlain and KPI Insurance. We'll hear announcements throughout from the South Dakota High School Activities Association as well. And our game not being videoed, but we do have the live audio stream available on the KPLO page of drgnews.com and on the DRG News app on your smartphone. That's brought to you by Kimball Livestock Exchange. With John Neff in studio, Brian Oakland once again. Lower Brule with a 16-7 mark taking on the DeSmet Bulldogs, coming in at 22-1. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and we'll get into the pregame show. By the way, our in-game sponsors also that'll help us with this game include the Pottsville State Farm Insurance Agency in Pierre with that pregame, as well as the folks of the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, May Adam Law Office, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Riverview Chevrolet and Buick, Jet Lanes in Presho, also Ray Hybrid Ray Hybrid Dealers, Darren Boyle Sales and Buy Right Seeds, Prairie Post Agtegra, CHS River Plains, and Darren Boyle Sales. Will keep up to date with the scores of today's games and the games throughout the weekend with the Darren Boyle Sales scoreboard. The lot, the farm machinery, you'll find it on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre, and you can log on to his website, darrenboylesales.com. The pregame for Becky Pottsville State Farm Insurance begins in 2 minutes as you listen to State B tournament basketball action on 94.5 KPLO, 100.5 in Pierre and Fort Pierre, and on drgnews.com.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. And that's why the team at Pottsville State Farm Insurance are here to help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto. Just another way they're here to help life go right. Call Pottsville State Farm Insurance at 224-4173 today.
Cash is king at the Golden Buffalo Casino in Lower Brule. Speed drawings are happening this Saturday. Every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., win $100 cash, with 2 random winners receiving $250 cash. Enjoy a 10-ounce mouth-watering prime rib in the restaurant for only $15. This Saturday, there will be $2,000 given away to 17 winners, with drawings every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Your winning destination, the Golden Buffalo Casino, where we can't wait to see you.
This winter, sip on a delicious hot cocoa and lose yourself in the grace of a fresh falling snow
before you smash that hot mug on the driveway and join First Dakota to bank some noise for winter sports. Stomp for block shots, holler for match ceiling takedowns, and go berserk for a perfect dismount. Let's give the home team all we've got. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank.
Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com, member FDIC.
Imagine what it would look like if we didn't have companies to haul away our unwanted things. Just take a second to think about it. Not pretty, is it? Fiery Brothers in Chamberlain can and does clean up that picture. They're here to help with all of your disposal needs, whether it's weekly pickup of household trash or you have a special project that needs a large container. Fiery Brothers will help you with whatever you need done. Give them a call at 234-5771. Fiery Brothers in Chamberlain. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call them today.
Welcome back to Aberdeen. Brian Oakland here with the State B about to commence in just a little bit. The 20-minute countdown has begun here in Wax Arena. A couple of housekeeping notes. It's worth mentioning that the broadcast of this playoff game is being authorized by special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the South Dakota High School Activities Association, and we always like to remind you on behalf of our South Dakota Office of Highway Safety in the state of South Dakota, they celebrate being a part of a team. They say buckle up every trip, every time from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Welcome to the Pottsville State Farm pregame show. Let's start by talking about keys to success. And the keys to success in the pregame come to us courtesy of May Adam Law Offices in Pierre. Did not have a chance to talk with Brian LaRush as we're still kind of in question as to whether we'll get a chance to talk to our head coaches here in the facility. They did not allow media to do that, have pregame interviews necessarily with the State B girls tournament a week ago, but we're kind of assuming that'll be the case here today, but by the time we pulled in and got set up, we didn't have a lot of time to go looking for head coaches anyway, as once again, I think everybody just very pleased and very happy to have state tournament basketball going again after the COVID year layoff that cost us the state tournament a year ago. But keys to success for Lower Brule. Let's look over their season. They started with 5 wins in a row, and then they lose 5 in a row. Up through January 18th, they got a win on January 22nd at Omaha Nation in Nebraska, but then lose to Winnebago, Nebraska the next day on the 23rd. Their last loss, though, January 30th at home in an overtime game against the Stanley County Buffaloes. They finished the regular season with 7 straight wins. Then they go to the postseason, and there's some pretty impressive wins, by the way. Beating a good Mobridge Pollock team. They rolled up a lot of points all of a sudden. 100 points in a win over Dupree on February 23rd. 93 in a win over Marty Indian School on February 26th to close out the season. They go into Region 2B play, and they demolish Sully Butte 78-36. And that after just a couple of weeks after defeating Sully Butte by only 5 at the Warner Classic on February 20th. So a big win over Sully Butte in the first round. The semifinal win, they get the victory over the Ipswich Tigers 60-48. And then right out of Region 2B, out of their own region, but they beat Potter County 80-72. The Sioux were down at halftime, but a pretty close game. But they, again, hit 14 threes in that ball game, and that was one of the keys that allowed them to overtake a 17-3 regular season Potter County squad that really had a lot of things going for them. But Lower Brule, you know what? That's a team on a mission, and they continue to play well. Now, obviously here today, key to success, if they're going to hit 14 threes in a Sodak 16 game to get here, I don't want to say they have to hit 14 threes to move on into the second round, but I think that would certainly be helpful against a very good, very seasoned and high-scoring Smet team that they'll face today. I think with the offensive prowess that Smet has, it's the defense that's going to have to come to play for Lower Brule. Now, they had some good defensive effort against a very good offensive Potter County team, which has now been, 9 days ago since anybody has last played in their Sodak 16 games, but the Sioux are going to have that good defensive effort. One thing I'm really looking forward to, 3 years ago, Lower Brule came in as an 8th seed, their first ever state tournament trip under Yamini Jack at the same time, or at that time, but they came in and took on a number 1 Bridgewater Emory team, and I remember at the time I didn't think Lower Brule would be able to play with the offensive power that Bridgewater Emory had. And I'll tell you what, at the end of that game, I think it was just a 6-point loss for Lower Brule. They played very well that day. I think the boys that Lower Brule has today have the capability to do pretty much the same thing against the DeSmet team. I did not talk to Coach Brian LaRush, but I did hear the public broadcasting TV guy had a conversation with him. He did talk to Coach LaRush, and one thing that Coach LaRush told him is, we like this matchup. So I think that could be a lot of fun and pose a good reason to kind of have good anticipation for what Lower Brule can be capable of in this basketball game. So obviously got to take care of the basketball. DeSmet's not going to need any help. They'll make their own breaks and they'll put their own points on the board, but Lower Brule going to definitely, I think, have to hit those three-pointers once again and just keep all of the things going and maybe come in here as the team that really doesn't have anything to lose. And sometimes those are the scariest teams. We have seen it, 8 seed teams beating number 1 seeds. So some of those things are going to be keys to success if Lower Brule is going to be able to pull that feat off here today. Keys to success in our broadcast are brought to you by May Adam Law Offices in Pierre. We'll hear from them and we'll take a look at this contest and set things up from the DeSmet standpoint when we return with more of our Becky Pottsville pregame. This is State B Tournament Basketball on KPLO.
May Adam Law Firm of Pierre offers superior legal representation. Clients can be assured their legal matter will be handled with expertise and the utmost professionalism. May Adam Law Firm's skilled South Dakota lawyers can take care of your family law, estate planning, real estate law, or personal injury. May Adam Law Firm is able to help you plan and prepare to make matters easy now and into the future, too. Call 224-8803. May Adam Law Firm of Pierre, since 1881.
May Adam Law Firm keys to success continue for the home team on the scoreboard today, and they'll be the top seed overall in this tournament, the DeSmet Bulldogs, a team that has really had some good things going. I saw this team in the state tournament a couple of years ago. Saw them, I believe, if I remember correctly, beat Potter County in the Sodac 16 a year ago, but they didn't get that opportunity to play in the state tournament. Neither did anybody else last year. Thank you, COVID-19, for nothing. But DeSmet has to be a team on a mission coming in this year. They're 19-1 in the regular season. The only loss they suffered was on New Year's Eve, and that was at Sioux Valley, who happens to be the 3rd seed in the Class A tournament tonight as they take on the Chamberlain Cubs here on KPLO. That was a 54-50 loss. They turned around, had a quality win over Viborg Hurley, who we'll see against the Lyman Raiders in the next ball game. But DeSmet has just passed pretty much every test all season long. Del Rapids St. Mary, they play White River tonight, and DeSmet beat them by 36 points back in December. They beat Canastota by 13. We'll see Canastota in this tournament. They had a quality win by 13 at the Hanson Classic over Platte Geddes in Mitchell. Platte Geddes came a game short from making the state tournament. In fact, Aberdeen's Christian beat them, and DeSmet did have a win over White River in the latest Culver's Classic in Mitchell as well. That one was 76-63. So a lot of quality teams that DeSmet has defeated this season, and they've got another quality team in Lower Brule that they'll have to take on here today. But DeSmet is, you look at them, and they go as, well, their standout player is Kalen Gary, who scores 22 points, pulls down 7 rebounds a game. And this kid is a good one, let me tell you. He's still just a junior, but we could see as a freshman a couple of years ago, Kalen Gary was going to be a very good up-and-coming player. He has not disappointed, and he does lead the way. Rhett Ostis is a 10-point-per-game scorer, but the rest of the starting 5 scores just single digits a game on average. They do have a pretty good supporting cast, and they'll get the balance out of that after Kalen Gary in particular. But I think if you're Lower Brule, you really maybe try to key in on Kalen Gary and then maybe take your chances with the rest of that bunch. And I know DeSmet is good enough, though, to really take advantage of people who try to stop the one top dog for the Bulldogs. But It'll be interesting to see just what kind of production De Smet will get today. It is a veteran club. Most of these starting five, I think, were around a couple of years ago and still have a lot of good things left in them. And it's still a fairly young squad. I'm looking at the roster. I see 4 seniors. 2 of them will not be starting. Actually, Brian, why don't you look at the De Smet roster instead of the Lower Brule roster? So seniors, yeah, they've got 2 in the starting roster. There is 1 other senior that'll come in off a guard, but still a very young team. However, still De Smet, the top-ranked team. So looking at this game from a De Smet standpoint, and our keys to success brought to you by May Adam Law Offices in Pierre. A 2-minute break and our pregame continues. We'll take a look at the brackets, and we've also got starting lineups coming up in just a little bit as we continue after this 2-minute timeout from the State B in Aberdeen on KPLO and drgnews.com.
Everything you want is yours at the Oasis Sinclair Pump and Pack in Oklahoma. Use your Dino Pay app to save money on every tank of gas. And now they're serving hot food from gourmet grub and hot stuffed pizza. Food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call in your order at 234-5325. Hunting and fishing licenses and ammo and bait are available. Open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mark Muller and his staff are doing what it takes to offer you the best stop around. At Oasis Pump and Pack in Oklahoma, they're proud of area students and their participation in all the many activities that enrich all our lives. Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine are happy to sponsor the state A&B basketball tournaments, and they're proud of the Chamberlain Cubs, Lyman Raiders, and Lower Brule Sioux and all of their hard work and dedication. Congratulations to all coaches, teachers, and parents that support the many student activities. They're all about family at Riverview, and they treat you like family whenever you come into their dealership. Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine in Oklahoma for superior customer service and more ways to get the best deal ever. Learn more at riverviewfamily.com.
C&B Operations, your John Deere dealer in Chamberlain, appreciates the many young people and educators who are role models and leaders in our high schools, universities, and technical schools. We're glad to support the many area basketball players from this region, including Chamberlain, Lyman, and Lower Brule. Go to DeereEquipment.com and see how we can help you with everything to get ready for spring planting. Or better yet, stop by and see us at C&B Operations in Chamberlain, doing what it takes to make your farming operation more productive and efficient.
When you're looking for the deal that's right for you, and you want the best quality and service too, I'm gonna tell you about the place that you should try, and this will be the only place where you buy.
For all your insurance needs, KPI Insurance has the protection that's right for you and your budget. Whether it's your auto, home, farm, ranch, business, RV, boat, motorcycle, or more, even all of your life and health insurance needs. KPI Insurance, call us at 234-2323 and follow us on Facebook.
Welcome back with more of the pregame show brought to you by the Becky Potts of a State Farm Insurance Agency. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play. Got about 7 minutes in our pregame countdown here in Aberdeen. Quick opportunity to take a look at the brackets in the state basketball tournaments. Boys basketball coming up here. Let's start right here in Aberdeen. This game, again, number 1 Smet against number 8 Lower Brule. We will have the second game for you on KPLO coming up after this one's conclusion as well. They'll space them out. It's a 2:15 start time for number 5 Lyman taking on number 4 Viborg Hurley. Lyman, we're looking forward to their first state tournament appearance since 1996 when they were in Class A. 2 games tonight coming up. The one game we will not have will be the 2-7 game. That has number 2 Canastota against number 7 Aberdeen Christian playing here in their own backyard. And also, of course, pretty much in their own backyard, it's the number 3 seeded White River Tigers, and that the Tigers will take on number 6 Del Rapids St. Mary for the second time this season coming up. That game slated at 7:45. Now Chamberlain plays on KPLO tonight, so White River we will have to move to KGFX AM. If you're looking forward to that, feel free to, we hope you will, be able to tune to 1060 AM KGFX, 107.1 FM in Pierre Fort Pierre, or you can also listen on the KGFX page of drgnews.com or on the all-new DRG News app. Which is brought to you by Golden Buffalo Casino, by the way. So 7:45, White River and Del Rapids St. Mary through the KGFX channels tonight here from the State B. Now to the Class A state tournament, and that action will start in Sioux Falls at the Denny Sanford Premier Center with unbeaten number 1 ranked Vermilion, 22-0. They'll take on the number 8 seed Del Rapids. The 4-5 game has Sioux Falls Christian against St. Thomas More. That should be a good one. The number 2 seed is Dakota Valley. They'll take on the Winter Warriors. That game starts at 5 o'clock, and then Darren Boyle has the Chamberlain Cubs, the number 6 seed, at 7:30, going up against number 3 Sioux Valley tonight. I think that really the top 4 seeds, maybe the 5 top teams in Class A, have a very wide open tournament, and that should be a good one and a fun one in Sioux Falls. The Double A's take place out in Rapid City. The top seed is Sioux Falls, Washington. They're on Mountain Time, but the first game at 12 Mountain will have number 1 Sioux Falls, Washington against the number 9 seed overall, Aberdeen Central. Sioux Falls O'Gorman takes on Harrisburg in the 4-5 game. 5 o'clock Mountain tonight. It's number 2 Yankton and their standout Matthew Moores, who will be playing his final 3 games of the season and of his career before heading over to Wisconsin to become a Badger. Yankton takes on Mitchell at 5 o'clock tonight, and then Sioux Falls Roosevelt, the 3 seed, against Brandon Valley, who actually won the last Double-A tournament 2 years ago. That's the tournament field in Rapid City, Class AA. We'll keep you up to date on that Washington-Aberdeen game, as well as on Del Rapids and Vermilion, as much as we can while we get this one going as well. Lower Brule and De Smet coming up. A 2-minute timeout. Your starting lineups are next. This is the State B on KPLO.
Everything you want is yours at the Oasis Sinclair Pump and Pack in Oklahoma. Use your Dino Pay app to save money on every tank of gas. And now they're serving hot food from gourmet grub and hot stuffed pizza. Food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call in your order at 234-5325. Hunting and fishing licenses and ammo and bait are available. Open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mark Muller and his staff are doing what it takes to offer you the best stop around. At Oasis Pump and Pack in Oklahoma, they're proud of area students and their participation in all the many activities that enrich all our lives.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Congratulations to the Lower Brule Sioux boys basketball team on an outstanding season and making it to the state tournament. Everyone at the Golden Buffalo Casino is proud of your accomplishment this season and wish you the best of luck in the boys Class B state tournament. Play hard and make us proud, boys, from your winning destination, the Golden Buffalo Casino in Lower Brule.
As you clear that last patch of snow from your driveway, breathe in that crisp, rejuvenating winter air
before you throw yourself into a monstrous snow pile and join First Dakota to bank some noise for winter sports. Shriek for tide-turning reversals, whoop at game-winning threes, and gasp in awe at a perfect back walkover. Let them hear you from the cheap seats. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank.
Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com, member FDIC.
Back again at Northern State University's Barnett Center. Welcome to Walks Arena. Time for the starting lineup. Says Lower Brule gets set to take on the De Smet Bulldogs. Let's meet the Lower Brule Sioux from Kuwichashoyate as they will go this way. Brian LaRush Jr., a 16-point-per-game scorer, the 6-foot sophomore, one of them that leads the way. Gavin Thigh is a sophomore at 5'9" in the backcourt, and Shane Grayowl is a 6-foot senior as well. The other leading scorer includes Kesham Thigh, 6'3" junior in the front court. And actually, let's go back to the backcourt today. Brian LaRush going to start Lane Gray, a 5'9" 8th grader, to begin this first state tournament contest. I think he takes the place of Leonard Longdo, the 5'10" senior, but Lane Gray will get the start in the backcourt. So it's Gray, LaRush Jr., and Gavin Thigh, as well as Shane Grayowl and Kesham Thigh in the front court for Lower Brule. 16-7 on the season. Brian LaRush, the head coach, assisted by Jalen Youthy. Their opponent is the De Smet Bulldogs, the top seed, and they've got some good ones in their backcourt. Rhett Ostus is a 6-foot junior. We mentioned Kalen Gary, the 6'3" junior, 22 points, 7 rebounds a game, and also in the backcourt will be Cody Kavanaugh. He is a 6-foot senior. Forwards are Ethan McCune, a 6'1" senior, and Torrey Holland, a junior, at 6'2". And these guys have been playing together for quite a while. It's Ostus, Gary, Kavanaugh, McCune, and Holland, the starting five. Names off the bench we'll see, and folks like Damon Wilkinson, a 6'7" sophomore, Caden Fast, a freshman, at 6 feet. Colt Wilkinson, a 6-foot junior, coming in off the bench as well. For the 22-1 top seed, top ranked, the Smet Bulldogs, their head coach is Jeff Grunhagen. He is assisted by Corey Haugen and Dustin Olson. Those are your starting lineups. We will take a break and we'll get to the game officials for this contest, the law on the court, in just a little bit, but a timeout. We imagine the singing of the Lakota flag song first and then our national anthem. So let's take a 3-minute timeout and we'll be back with more of the pregame before we tip this one off. This is actually, as they still introduce the law on the court, let's do that. Chad Vossicle of Del Rapids, Scott Whitlock of Aberdeen, and Kevin Talley of Mitchell will officiate today's first game. Joe Schroeder of Alexandria is the alternate, but Chad Vossicle, Scott Whitlock, Kevin Talley, our law on the court. Thanks to them for doing an oftentimes thankless job in officiating high school sports. Our law on the court's brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. Now we take a 3-minute break, and we're back to tip it off. The State B is on KPLO and DRGnews.com.
With more and more people being at home, chances are you'll access a social media site to stay in touch with family and friends. Before you do this, please check your privacy settings to ensure you're being the safest you can be. For step-by-step instructions on how to check and change your privacy settings for Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and the like, go to consumer.sd.gov. With questions, contact South Dakota Consumer Protection Division, 1-800-300-1986, or email consumerhelp@state.sd.us. Imagine what it would look like if we didn't have companies to haul away our unwanted things. Just take a second to think about it. Not pretty, is it? Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain can and does clean up that picture. They're here to help with all of your disposal needs, whether it's weekly pickup of household trash or you have a special project that needs a large container. Byrie Brothers will help you with whatever you need done. Give them a call at 234-5771. Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call them today.
Everything you want is yours at the Oasis Sinclair Pump and Pack in Oklahoma. Use your Dino Pay app to save money on every tank of gas. And now they're serving hot food from gourmet grub and hot stuffed pizza. Food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call in your order at 234-5325. Hunting and fishing licenses and ammo and bait are available. Open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mark Mueller and his staff are doing what it takes to offer you the best stop around. At Oasis Pump and Pack in Oklahoma, they're proud of area students and their participation in all the many activities that enrich all our lives. Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine are happy to sponsor the state A&B basketball tournaments, and they're proud of the Chamberlain Cubs, Lyman Raiders, and Lower Brule Sioux and all of their hard work and dedication. Congratulations to all coaches, teachers, and parents that support the many student activities. They're all about family at Riverview, and they treat you like family whenever you come into their dealership. Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine in Oklahoma for superior customer service and more ways to get the best deal ever. Learn more at riverviewfamily.com.
C&B Operations, your John Deere dealer in Chamberlain, appreciates the many young people and educators who are role models and leaders in our high schools, universities, and technical schools. We're glad to support the many area basketball players from this region, including Chamberlain, Lyman, and Lower Brule. Go to DeereEquipment.com and see how we can help you with everything to get ready for spring planting. Or better yet, stop by and see us at C&B Operations in Chamberlain, doing what it takes to make your farming operation more productive and efficient.
When you're looking for the deal that's right for you, and you want the best quality and service too, I'm gonna tell you about the place that you should try, and this will be the only place where you buy.
For all your insurance needs, KPI Insurance has the protection that's right for you and your budget, whether it's your auto, home, farm, ranch, business, RV, boat, motorcycle, or more, even all of your life and health insurance needs. KPI Insurance, call us at 234-2323 and follow us on Facebook.
Everything you want is yours at the Oasis Sinclair Pump and Pack in Oklahoma. Use your Dino Pay app to save money on every tank of gas. And now they're serving hot food from gourmet grub and hot stuffed pizza. Food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call in your order at 234-5325. Hunting and fishing licenses and ammo and bait are available. Open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mark Muller and his staff are doing what it takes to offer you the best stop around. At Oasis Pump and Pack in Oklahoma, they're proud of area students and their participation in all the many activities that enrich all our lives.
So why do teenagers play high school sports?
My reason why is a sense of purpose.
My reason why is to inspire others.
One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of all high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship. So why do they play?
My reason why is friendship.
Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Welcome back to Aberdeen. Game number 1 about set to get going. As once again, nice job on our flag song from the Lakota standpoint and also the national anthem here to kick off opening session. Number 1 of the State B Boys Basketball Tournament for 2021. I'm Brian Oakland with John Neff in studio. We're driven by the Office of Highway Safety, and the State B is on KPLO 94.5, Reliance Chamberlain 100.5 FM, K263AW Pier. Ford Pier, drive over or get pulled over. As the starting lineups will be announced on the floor yet. Once again, the first of 3 games that we've got for you here from Aberdeen. The first of 4 overall on our DRG Media Group stations for today. Today it's Lower Brule against Smet, followed by Viberg, Hurley, and Lyman. We expect to have a short break in between our broadcasts of those 2 games. It'll be 2 separate audio streams on the KPLO page of drgnews.com. Once again, Canastota, Aberdeen play at 5 o'clock here in Aberdeen this afternoon. And then tonight, the White River Tigers, the 16th time in a row in the state tournament, or the 16th year in a row they've qualified for the state tournament. They'll play in their 15th in a row as they take on Del Rapids St. Mary tonight. And again, we'll continue to remind you that game will be on KGFX AM tonight, as the Chamberlain Cubs will be here on KPLO with a 7:30 tip-off. They're the 6th seed in Class A. They take on Sioux Valley. Darren Boyle in Sioux Falls with the call on that one coming up tonight. So that'll do it for our Potsdam State Farm pregame show. Let's tip this thing off. And the State B's opening tip is brought to you by Riverview Chevrolet and Buick in Owatonna. They invite you in for an oil change or major service or just to take a test drive. They'll pay top dollar for good quality trade-ins too. They treat you like family, so learn more at riverviewfamily.com. Lower Brule's in the Road Grays today as the visiting team in this opening contest. Purple numbers, gold trim, but DeSmet in home white with the maroon and numbers in gold trim. They win that Riverview Chevrolet Buick opening tip. They work it inside and a couple of fakes and pump fakes, and Kalen Gary gets things kicked off for the opening bucket. So first possession and a 2-0 start for the Bulldogs. Lower Brule will drive, and a tough shot up right away for Gavin Thigh. He got met with some contact, forced it up, almost got it to go, but down for a rebound to DeSmet. Now a long 3 up, no good, and Thigh will tip it out ahead to Brian LaRush, and an easy breakaway layup. That's a heck of an effort for Gavin Thigh on the hustle for the rebound off of the missed 3 by the Bulldogs. So 2-2 underway here. 7:05 to go, quarter number 1, as we follow the action here. Lower Brule heading from our left to right. DeSmet from our right to left. Over on the left side up top, working it inside, backing off, and Gary will put a 14-footer up and in. He just created a little bit of space and was able to get his second basket down. 6:45 to go, first quarter. 4-2 DeSmet. And all we've had is 2-pointers so far, but as LaRush Jr. backs it off, he'll set up the offense. Looks right, though, stays left. Gavin Thigh with it. Spin move, nice move, down, but he can't get the layup to go. The finger roll just a little bit too strong for Gavin Thigh. Gary down with the rebound, but the push pass ahead as DeSmet tries to run transition over the top of Torrey Holland and out of bounds, and DeSmet will turn it over for the first time today. Well, missed of a layup and a heck of an effort here by Gavin Thigh. You really don't want to see missed opportunities. As we talk about keys to success with Lower Brule, the one thing DeSmet does not need is help, and missed opportunities might be one of the things that can help them out. Brian LaRush misses a three here, but again, a hustle rebound for Gavin Thigh, and he gets to the basketball first. One of the Bulldogs a little bit late and will be called for a foul, the first one of the game. That goes to Cody Kavanaugh. So the inbound right in front of us here as the Sioux put it in play. Keyshawn Thigh had the inbound. He gets his first touch of the basketball on the floor. He's back to Gavin Thigh through his hands, but he'll collect it. And Sioux on the move once again. Here's Gray Owl, left wing. Shifting, slicing, dicing, finds Lane Gray, now back underneath, and Gray Owl didn't use the glass, and the shot a little bit too strong. The Bulldogs the other way as Gary lost it momentarily, got it back, will put it up and in with a finger roll in front. He has all six, and the Bulldogs lead 6-2. There's Brian LaRush with a pull-up jumper, though, from the free throw line, and the Sioux counter right back, and they're back within two at 6-4. Both of these teams with a lot of offensive possibilities, and now Lane Gray will foul Kalen Gary with a corner jumper. Corner of the paint, that is, in the right elbow. Gary from behind trying to get a block, or Gray rather, but just got him on the back of the hand, and Kalen Gary finds a shot that he is unable to hit. He misses this one off the right side. First of two, no good. He'll try another. Kalen Gary has six. Brian LaRush Jr. with four. It's 6-4 Bulldogs. Now still 6-4, but a brick is pulled down on a long rebound by the Bulldogs. Ethan McCune able to get that one. They'll go right back in. Gary with the left hand is up and good for two. 8-4 DeSmet. 3 minutes gone by here in the opening play. In the opening quarter, Gavin Thigh drives to the baseline, leaves it back at a three-point attempt, and the shot no good for Keyshawn Thigh. But he'll get 3 free throws coming up here as DeSmet gets him on the hand in the act of shooting. So, well, we got a media timeout before free throws come with the public broadcasting broadcast. First play stoppage under 5 minutes is a media timeout, and timeouts in our broadcast are brought to you by the Jet Lanes, downtown P-Town's #1 fun spot. Stop in for your next timeout in Presho. 60-second break. Our first period underway, 8-4. Top seed DeSmet leading number 8 Lower Brule on KPLO.
Congratulations to the Lower Brule Sioux boys basketball team on an outstanding season and making it to the state tournament. Everyone at the Golden Buffalo Casino is proud of your accomplishments this season and wish you the best of luck in the boys Class B state tournament. Play hard and make us proud, boys, from your winning destination, the Golden Buffalo Casino in Lower Brule.
As you clear that last patch of snow from your driveway, breathe in that crisp, rejuvenating winter air
before you throw yourself into a monstrous snow pile and join First Dakota to bank some noise for winter sports. Shriek for tide-turning reversals, whoop at game-winning threes, and gasp in awe at a perfect back walkover. Let them hear you from the cheap seats. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank.
Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com, member FDIC.
Welcome back to the State B. Home once again at the Barnett Arena, or the Barnett Center. Keyshawn Thigh at the free throw line, getting 3 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting before the break by Rhett Ostis. Keyshawn misses the first, but gets the second, and he's got 1 to go. Third attempt, up and down. 2 out of 3 for Keyshawn Thigh, his first 2 of the game. And it's 8-6 to Smet with a slim lead so far here. 4:45 to go, quarter number 1. underway. I'll tell you what, I walk into this building and I always love coming here for the State B. Gary with a step-back jumper from mid-range. It's no good. Thigh is down with the rebound. That's Gary's first miss on the floor. Now a three missed by LaRush as he came up short from the left side. Gary with the rebound, tries to run the transition break. His feet inside to Torrey Holland is knocked away by Lower Brule, out of bounds off of the hands of Lane Gray, and it'll stay with the Bulldogs. We expected a lot of up and down, and that's so far what we're getting here. Working inside, McCune, now to Kavanaugh, to Holland down in the left corner. And he will look and find Rhett Ostis steps aside. He'll plant a three-pointer down. First three of the day for DeSmet, and they'll lead by 5 at 11-6. Back from the Sioux. Lower Brule, both of these teams really going to go about 7 deep. Started a point, I should finish it, but from earlier, I walk into the building and just the excitement of the State B kind of gets a guy going. Nice left-handed layup here for Lane Gray, and the finger roll is good for the 8th grader with his first 2 points in a state basketball tournament, 11-8. Lower Brule hanging right with the top-seeded Bulldogs, but trailing by 3. Kavanaugh has it right side. Now worked it down lower. McCune inside, spin move. Gary comes up short. Thigh has the rebound for Lower Brule as the Sioux look to run a 3-on-2. Kick out, 3 ball, no good this time as Gray Owl didn't have the rhythm on that. Now Gary will win the race up ahead, and turned into a transition opportunity for Lower Brule, but it turned into a transition basket for DeSmet instead. 13-8 our score, 5 minutes gone by. 3 to go here, quarter number 1. Lane Gray on the move, penetration, kick out. Gray Owl now out to Thigh. Kisham wants 3, but that's off the front of the rim. And no good, and Ethan McCune has the rebound for DeSmet. Lower Brule 0 for 4, and I think both teams, it is McCune who gets the soft touch on the three-pointer here. Now DeSmet has hit their last 3, but I was just going to say that it seems like both teams maybe still need to feel their way out. I mean, jitters are going to be there for everybody. You got to get your rhythm. Lower Brule still looking for shooting rhythm here. On the drive, Lane Gray will be fouled by Torrey Holland. That'll be his first and the team's 3rd for DeSmet. This one's on the floor. Updating the score, 16-8, DeSmet on top after that last three-pointer. I think so far, Lower Brule in their shooting touch from the perimeter just got to get into a little bit more rhythm. It's a nice move, spin move, shot up from 15, though on the right baseline is no good for LaRush. Rebound is pulled down. Ostis will feed Gary for 3, and another one for DeSmet from long range. Kalen Gary already with 13 points. He is the 22-point per game scoring leader. Now a steal here as Ostis takes the dribble away from Gavin Thigh. They get it ahead to Gary again. 21-8, DeSmet on a 10-0 run. As Lane Gray wants 3, he'll put an end to that. For the time being, Gray has 5. And back within 10 come the Sioux. 21-11 now. Minute and a half to go. We're in the opening quarter. McCune has it left side. Got some Sioux fans right behind me looking for some defense here, and we've got a foul, the first on the day, called on Lower Brule. Actually, will be the second of the day. And this one goes to Brian LaRush, Jr. His first personal. Inbound comes to Gary. He drives, left-handed shot, no good, and we've got a foul. Everybody's coming the other way, though. This one goes against the Bulldogs. And it's on Gary. Kalen had an offensive foul on the drive. I actually didn't see it, but we're sitting courtside here. We're not going to see everything as we sometimes can from up above. Good seats, though, here at NSU's Barnett Center. 21-11, the turnover for DeSmet on the offensive foul. Here come the Sioux in traffic. Thigh unable to hit from close range, but he gets a nice save to keep it alive into the hands of Gray Owl. Now outside LaRush for 3. This one rushed and off the mark, and Gary will control the rebound. So nothing doing there for Lower Brule. 21-11, they still trail, and Cody Kavanaugh looks for three. Rebound will be pulled down by DeSmet, taken away from Lower Brule, and now the feed to Red Ostis, who hits another three. 4 out of 6 for DeSmet now from long range in the opening quarter, and they lead 24-11. Gray Owl will give it to LaRush, back to Keisham Thigh. 22 on the shot clock. Actually, shot clock and game clock pretty even. LaRush pulls up and hits a three. Nope, that's Keisham Thigh on the far side of the floor. Keisham with his first field goal, but a comebacker here for Gary will airball a three, and Lane Gray with the rebound. No, he actually loses it. Lost his footing as Cody Kavanaugh got in the way. Now we've got a blocking foul as DeSmet had one last opportunity for a layup from Torrey Holland at the buzzer. Gavin Thigh doesn't like the call, but he is going to pick up the foul. And DeSmet hustled after that rebound. It looked like Lower Brule had it, but DeSmet took it back. And now they get a second chance opportunity. Free throws here for Torrey Holland. First one, though, no good. No time on the clock. But Holland will get one more. Actually, they've got the backboard lighted up, and that's the first free throw made in 4 tries by the DeSmet Bulldogs. But our first quarter comes to an end, and on the Darren Boyle Sales scoreboard, it's the Bulldogs 25 and Lower Brule 14. Scoreboard from Darren Boyle Sales with the lot to farm machinery on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre and online at darrenboylesales.com. Your 60-second break, and we've got a second period coming up next. Game number 1 is on at the State B from KPLO.
Imagine what it would look like if we didn't have companies to haul away our unwanted things. Just take a second to think about it. Not pretty, is it? Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain can and does clean up that picture. They're here to help with all of your disposal needs, whether it's weekly pickup of household trash or you have a special project that needs a large container. Byrie Brothers will help you with whatever you need done. Give them a call at 234-5771. Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call them today.
Everything you want is yours at the Oasis Sinclair Pump and Pack in Oklahoma. Use your Dino Pay app to save money on every tank of gas. And now they're serving hot food from gourmet grub and hot stuffed pizza. Food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call in your order at 234-5325. Hunting and fishing licenses and ammo and bait are available. Open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mark Muller and his staff are doing what it takes to offer you the best stop around. At Oasis Pump and Pack in Oklahoma, they're proud of area students and their participation in all the many activities that enrich all our lives.
Well, a hot shooting first quarter it turned into for the DeSmet Bulldogs. They've got an 11-point lead as we start the second period, but Lower Brule does have the first possession here of quarter number 2. Welcome back to Aberdeen as Gavin Thigh looking to back in down on the low right block. Tipped pass, but Lower Brule will keep it. 12 on the shot clock on a reset coming. Here's Keisham Thigh. Nifty moves, crossing over, and the left-handed layup on the right side of the bucket is good. Boy, that was purty in every sense of it from Keisham Thigh. Made the bucket in traffic on that left-handed reach as well. Now a foul here will go to Thigh. DeSmet's got a substitution, and their big guy Damon Wilkinson, a 6'7" sophomore, fouled in the act. Looked like Thigh did get him from behind, even though he was shaking his head in disagreement. 25-16, Keisham's first personal. Now 26-16 as Wilkinson hits the first of 2. Floor level here. Wilkinson steps in at 6'7", and you can tell he's a little bit bigger than everybody else on the floor. Got the first one, but missed the second. Rebound down to the Sioux. Corner 3, left side, up no good. The miss by Gavin Thigh, and now Kalen Gary down with the rebound. First minute gone by in the second period. 10-point advantage to the top seed, and now a leaner on the left side. Baseline drive, it's good for Cody Kavanaugh. And the Bulldogs lead by a dozen, 28-16. LaRush will give to Shane Grayowl behind the back. He'll drive against the big fella. Got around him, but misses the attempt as he pinned it in between the rim and the backboard. Now Wilkinson gets the lob inside, and he'll turn around and put it up and in. So a tough task defensively here for Lower Brule, and Smet opening up a 30-16 lead here. At the 6:15 mark of the second quarter, LaRush with some good dribbling, but loses it. Run down by Gray Owl at center circle. In the Wolf's Head. Here's Lane Gray. Now Shane Gray Owl, 3-ball good. Well, the Sioux missed their first 4 threes. They've got 3 on the board now. Looking for the answer is Gary as Wilkinson tips the rebound to Cody Kavanaugh off of the miss. And a second chance basket here. I wasn't so sure Wilkinson didn't have a hand on the back shoulder of one of the Lower Brule would-be rebounders to keep that one alive. But we play on 32-19. Now Thigh with it. Here's LaRush, makes a move in a deep 3, but this one off the mark, no good. Bryan's 0 for 4 from long range. 32-19 to Smet, looking to add to a 13-point lead, and McCune pulls the trigger from long range, and he hits it again. Ethan McCune with a 3 and a timeout here called by Lower Brule. Timeout from Jet Lane's downtown press show. Downtown P-Town's #1 fun spot for your next timeout. Lower Brule down by 16 now, 35-19 with 5:18 to play in the first half. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We're back with more from the State B on KPLO.
Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine are happy to sponsor the state A and B basketball tournaments, and they're proud of the Chamberlain Cubs, Lyman Raiders, and Lower Brule Sioux and all of their hard work and dedication. Congratulations to all coaches, teachers, and parents that support the many student activities. They're all about family at Riverview, and they treat you like family whenever you come into their dealership. Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine in Oklahoma for superior customer service and more ways to get the best deal ever. Learn more at riverviewfamily.com.
Well, it's a full timeout for Lower Brule, but we are going to have another 60-second timeout here coming up before too long. We're at 5:18 of the second quarter, so media timeout not too far off. At any rate, looking at the other state tournaments, Rapid City, the AA hasn't started yet. They'll start at 12 o'clock Mountain, 1 o'clock Central. But a little of a surprise as the 8th seed in Class A has a 19-11 lead at the end of one. That's Del Rapids over unbeaten Vermilion at the end of the first quarter. That tournament in Sioux Falls. That's where the Chamberlain Cubs will be playing later on tonight here on KPLO. Lower Brule out of their timeout looking for some offense here. Trailing 35-19, working it around the perimeter. Inside to Keyshawn Thigh, now back outside, but loses the dribble, and Kalen Gary with the pickup. Turnover for the Sioux. Haven't been keeping track of most of the stats. They'll give us official stats later on, but that I have it as the first turnover, and boy, right back at it. The Smet working their magic from outside. Another 3-ball rained down. This one by Cody Kavanaugh. Gavin Thigh on the move, loses the dribble. I think he tried to feed an extra pass to Shane Gray Owl, but the Smet gets the takeaway. Damon Wilkinson still in, underneath, out to Holland. Now Kavanaugh on the move, dumps it underneath, and Holland with the reverse layup good on the baseline. And DeSmet 40, Lower Brule 19. LaRush getting some contact. Boy, they're letting them play as the Sioux drive inside. LaRush unable to hit. Back and ready to go defensively, but here's Kalen Gary for 3. That won't go. Rebound is tipped, and Shane Gray Owl comes in for the rebound. Brings it across. Now he stops and goes, and he gets fouled, but will not hit the layup as Gray Owl ends up on the floor. So Shane will go to the free throw line. Leonard Longdo started the second quarter, by the way, or at least came out of that timeout. Longdo, the 5'10" senior for Lower Brule, and Christian Bishop, the big 6'5" junior, will check in, but we are before free throws at our media timeout. Shane Gray Owl to the stripe when we come back, but it's all DeSmet so far, 40-19, 3:46 to play. Second quarter, you're listening to the State B in a 60-second break on KPLO.
C&B Operations, your John Deere dealer in Chamberlain, appreciates the many young people and educators who are role models and leaders in our high schools, universities, and technical schools. We're glad to support the many area basketball players from this region, including Chamberlain, Lyman, and Lower Brule. Go to DeereEquipment.com and see how we can help you with everything to get ready for spring planting. Or better yet, stop by and see us at C&B Operations in Chamberlain, doing what it takes to make your farming operation more productive and efficient.
When you're looking for the deal that's right for you, and you want the best quality and service too, I'm gonna tell you about the place that you should try, and this will be the only place where you buy.
For all your insurance needs, KPI Insurance has the protection that's right for you and your budget, whether it's your auto, home, farm, ranch, business, RV, boat, motorcycle, or more, even all of your life and health insurance needs. KPI Insurance, call us at 234-2323 and follow us on Facebook.
Back out of the media timeout, back to the free throw line we go. Shane Grayowl to shoot a pair, but the first one off the front of the rim, it's no good. And Lower Brule is going to back everybody out and just brace themselves to play some defense here. As mentioned, Christian Bishop, big fella, in for the first time for Lower Brule. Grayowl hits the second free throw. Lower Brule hits the 20 mark, but they're only halfway to where Smet is right now. 3:40 to go. Second quarter, it's 40-20. Top-seeded Bulldogs, who have not lost to a Class B team all season long. Their only loss on the season was by 4 points to third seeded in the A tournament, Sioux Valley. Smet working it around. Hot shooting from outside the arc, and Ethan McCune hits his third in a row. That is the seventh three in this game for DeSmet. Lower Brule has had that shooting prowess as well in their last game. There's a nice feed. LaRush underneath to Christian Bishop. And Bishop will put his first basket of the state tournament up and in. 43-22. Talking about Brule hitting 14 threes in their Sodak 16 win. Now McCune wants another one, this time no good as he overshoots, but the rebound is still pulled down by the Bulldogs. They still have it. Gary drives inside, kicks it out. Kavanaugh for three, no good. Keisham Thigh up for the rebound this time. Looking to move. Ooh, saved the dribble right in front of us from going out of bounds. He sidesteps and contorts, but he can't get the acrobatic layup to go. And DeSmet down with a rebound again with under 2.5 to go here in the second period. Still a 21-point lead for the Bulldogs. Holland, he'll want three. He'll get three. Boy, there just isn't anybody in this lineup for DeSmet that's played in this game that can't hit from downtown. 46-22. They shoot 32% from long range on the season, but they're shooting a little bit better than that. Lower Brule hit 14 out of 27 in their last game, but that was 9 days ago. LaRush, nowhere to go, just in front of the free throw line, gets rid of it. Here's Grayowl on the right wing with a pickup. Now back out to Keisham Thigh to reset the offense. Thigh going to pull the trigger. Ooh, almost got there, but he is fouled by Kalen Gary. Gary miffed by the call, thought he had all ball, but got him on the follow-through, and Keisham goes to the free throw line to shoot a three-shot opportunity for the second time today. It was 2 for 3 on his first chance. Gary, meanwhile, picks up his second personal foul for DeSmet. That is their sixth as a team. Thigh is in and out on the first of three here. Second one upcoming. Everybody can still stay calm. This one is good. Keisham so far with 8 points in the first half. Obviously, Lower Brule needs him to have a big game if they're going to be able to stay in this one. Damon Wilkinson will check out. Rhett Asta, starting guard, back in. And the starting five is replenished for the Bulldogs. One more for Keisham Thigh. At the free throw line, up and down. 46-24, DeSmet by a deuce on the board here as we come to the 1.5 minute mark of the second period. Now Ostis fires a three. He ends up on the floor, but the shot no good and still pulled down by the Bulldogs. Now another three, this one for Kalen Gary. That's no good. And Thigh has the rebound this time. Here come the Sioux, left to right. LaRush backs out, outside the arc in the right corner. Pushes it up to Thigh. Keesham on the move, and he'll lean in with the shoulder and be called for the offensive foul. Put the layup up and in, but Thigh will pick up his second personal. And it goes as a turnover instead for Brule. With 1:10 to play. The Smet back with it. The Smet, again, doing a lot of damage from outside the arc. Lower Brule may have to try to adjust defensively. Here's another three, but this one no good for Kavanaugh. But yet another offensive rebound. That's probably the best thing DeSmet is doing right now, as they're pulling down these offensive boards in this second period, as they've been content to try to light it up from outside the arc. Now they get one inside. Pass fumbled by Torrey Holland, but they still are able to keep it alive. McCune, now the shot clock down to 8 and 7. Inside, kick it out, and it's out of bounds. That pass to nobody. So Lower Brule stands their ground this time defensively. They'll have 25 seconds to try to close out this first half with something positive as they trail 46-24. Shot clock off. LaRush right in front of us here. Court side, backing it out. And he'll try to set something up to get that last shot to go. Longdo to Bishop. Now Keesham Thigh, and Gary had it. It's picked up by Bishop. He turns around, tries to fire one at the buzzer. Had a little extra time, but boy, Christian almost made one from 25 feet. Still off the mark, and our first half will come to an end. On the Darren Boyle Sales scoreboard, DeSmet putting on a shooting clinic as they lead Lower Brule 46-24. Like Darren Boyle's page on Facebook at Darren Boyle Sales, and check him out online at darrenboylesales.com, and hear him as well later on here on KPLO. Halftime coming. Halftime break is, we'll cover that in a moment. It's brought to you by Ray Hybrid Seeds and your local Ray Hybrid dealer. This is the State B, and we're in a 2-minute break from Aberdeen on KPLO and drgnews.com.
Ray Hybrids is dedicated to the success of their northern farmers. They provide industry-leading technology backed by agronomic expertise that fits the unique needs of local farmers. Choose Ray Hybrids for custom northern farming solutions. They know the north. Contact Buy Right Seeds in Millard or Darren Boyle Sales in Fort Pierre to learn more. Always read and follow stewardship and pesticide label directions. Everything you want is yours at the Oasis Sinclair Pump and Pack in Oklahoma. Use your Dino Pay app to save money on every tank of gas. And now they're serving hot food from gourmet grub and hot stuffed pizza. Food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call in your order at 234-5325. Hunting and fishing licenses and ammo and bait are available. Open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mark Muller and his staff are doing what it takes to offer you the best stop around. At Oasis Pump and Pack in Oklahoma, they're proud of area students and their participation in all the many activities that enrich all our lives.
How do you define strength? Is it physical? Or is it mental? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's whatever empowers a person to dig deeper, fight harder, and overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Discover how much stronger and more confident your children can be. Encourage them to participate in a sport when they go to high school.
This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hi, this is Big Daddy Dave, and I want to tell you about a new way to listen to KPLO. Just enable the Alexa skill. It's easy to set up, and you get high-quality sound from anywhere. Once you enable the skill, you can say, Alexa, play KPLO.
Welcome to KPLO.
Enjoy everything country, local high school sports, and so much more from anywhere in the world. Log on to drgnews.com to activate the skill and get more info. And listen to KPLO on Alexa.
Welcome back to Halftime. Halftime sponsored by your local Ray Hybrid Seed dealer. I'm Brian Oakland, John Neff in studio, and Lower Brule coming in after a shooting effort for the masses, for the for all time in their Sodak 16 game. They needed that kind of effort coming in, we thought, against the DeSmet Bulldogs, but it has been DeSmet putting on that, as we mentioned it earlier, called it earlier, a shooting clinic. And boy, DeSmet hitting 8 threes so far in this game, content to try to light it up in that second quarter from outside after they built a 25-14 lead in the first period. They let their guy, Kalen Gary, do a lot of the damage in that first quarter as he had 15 points, some of that in transition, some of that just on dribble drive penetration and creating his own opportunities. But 15 points in the first quarter for Gary. He did not score at all in the second quarter, but the rest of the team poured in 21 points on top of the 25 they already had, and they outscored the Sioux 21-10 in that second period, leading now 46-24. Unofficial stats has DeSmet at 18 of 32 on the floor in this first half, at 8 of 16, 50% from long range. Not getting it done at the free throw line when they get their opportunities. They're 2 out of 6. But again, Kalen Gary leads the way with 15 points. Next in line, Ethan McCune hit 3 threes in a row, and he has 9 points. And then next is Cody Kavanaugh with 7 points. They'll get 6 points each from Rhett Ostos and from Trey Holland, and 3 off the bench from Damon Wilkinson, their big sophomore, at 6'7". So 46 on the board for DeSmet. For Lower Brule, I've got them at just 8 of 24 and 33% on the floor, 3 of 12 from outside the arc, 5 of 7 from Charity Town, as Keisham Thai leads the way with 9 points. Next in line is Lane Gray, the 8th grader who got the start tonight. Today he has 5 points, including a 3-pointer down. Brian LaRush held to just 4 points, the first 4, in fact, of the game for Lower Brule. Shane Grayowl has 4 points. Christian Bishop off the bench with a bucket down as well. But Lower Brule trailing 46-24. Official stats have, as we've been handed those now, have the Sioux at 8 of 26 on the floor, 3 of 11 from outside the arc. DeSmet is 18 of 31 on the floor, 8 of 18 from long range. So they had a few differences there. Rebounds, though, Lower Brule with 12, but DeSmet with 21. And it's the 6 offensive rebounds that kept a lot of things alive for DeSmet and giving them more second chance opportunities, especially in that second period. 21-12 overall, and again 6-3 offensively, the advantage for Lower Brule. Kalen Gary has 7 rebounds. That's his season average. Ethan McCune has 5 for DeSmet, as Keisham Thai has 5 boards for the Sioux, and 3 players have 1 offensive rebound each. Gavin Thai has 3 rebounds also. Assists just 4 for the Sioux, but 13 for DeSmet so far. They move the basketball around very well. Pretty cleanly played ball game. Not a lot of turnovers. 4 for Lower Brule, 2 for DeSmet, and really not a lot of fouls to talk about either. I've only got 1 player for DeSmet, although it's a very important one, with as many as 2 fouls, and Keisham Thai has 2 fouls as well for Lower Brule. Neither team got into the bonus, though, in that first half of play. 46-24, our score. Let's take a 60-second timeout. We'll come back and give you more as to what's going on at halftime. Check in on the Class A tournament, update you on the brackets and our upcoming coverage as well, right here on KPLO. It's the State B, back in 1 minute, 94.5, 100.5 FM.
Cash is king at the Golden Buffalo Casino in Lower Brule. Speed drawings are happening this Saturday. Every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., win $100 cash, with 2 random winners receiving $250 cash. Enjoy a 10-ounce mouth-watering prime rib in the restaurant for only $15. This Saturday, there will be $2,000 given away to 17 winners, with drawings every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Your winning destination, the Golden Buffalo Casino, where we can't wait to see you.
This winter, sip on a delicious hot cocoa and lose yourself in the grace of a fresh falling snow.
Before you smash that hot mug on the driveway and join First Dakota to bank some noise for winter sports. Stomp for block shots, holler for match ceiling takedowns, and go berserk for a perfect dismount. Let's give the home team all we've got. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank.
Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com, member FDIC.
Back at our Ray Hybrids halftime break, Brian Oakland here. It is 46-24 to Smet with an offensive juggernaut on display here in the first half. 8 seed Del Rapids in the Class A tournament has gone to half. Still surprising Vermilion. They led by 8 at the end of one. They lead by 8 at the break. It's 32-24. Del Rapids on top of unbeaten Vermilion in their first game of the day in the Class A tournament in Sioux Falls. Once again, the Double A out in Rapid City hasn't gotten started yet, but they will get going at the top of the hour with Sioux Falls, Washington taking on Aberdeen Central in their first game there. Coming up after this one, we'll have a short break after our post-game sign-off, but then we'll be right back at it with the Lyman Raiders back in the state basketball tournament for the first time in 25 years. A State A runner-up in 1996, but a opportunity here to come in and start making some noise once again as a state tournament entrant out of Region 7B. The Raiders are the 5 seed. They take on number 4 Viborg Hurley, and Viborg Hurley has a good run of athletes that they've had coming here to Aberdeen for several years in a row, and Viborg Hurley going to be a tough opponent for Cooper Garnos and the Raiders, but we've got that one coming up for you on KPLO later on. Tonight, the White River Tigers are back in the B. What else is new? They will take on, they're the 3rd seed. They'll take on Del Rapids St. Mary, the 6th seed. Game time on that one's at 7:45. We will have it on DRG Media Group stations, but it will be KGFX AM, 1060 AM. Hopefully you can get that as far south as White River. If not, then tune on to drgnews.com on your computer, on your phone. Well, if it's on your phone, download and listen through the DRG News app. Look for DRG News and download it, and then you'll be able to choose your station. You'll choose KGFX, and you'll be able to hear and or, well, not see that game through drgnews.com, but you'll be able to hear it through the KGFX page of drgnews.com and the DRG News app, which is brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino. Chamberlain and Sioux Valley. 7:30 tip-off with Darren Boyle tonight here on KPLO. We are underway to start the second half. Second half throw-in brought to you by Riverview Chevrolet Buick of Chamberlain, Oklahoma. DeSmet with the opening possession. Gavin Thigh was looking for a steal. Couldn't quite get it here on the near side. So DeSmet with another throw-in as they work with their starting 5. Now they move left to right. DeSmet in home white with the maroon numbers. Driving, baseline. Good job defensively, though, by Brian LaRush. And Torrey Holland will step on the end line. That'll be a turnover to start things off for the Bulldogs here in the second half. Just their 3rd of the game so far. So now Lower Brule in their road grays. Heading from right to left. Shane Gray all down to the baseline, but his pass is tipped and stolen. 2-on-1. They're looking for an alley-oop. Torrey Holland missed an opportunity to just go up and get it himself, but he gets an offensive rebound off of a miss from Kalen Gary, and then will put it up and in. So that took a little while longer than it should have, but a 2-for-1 advantage here for DeSmet as they lead 48-24. First minute gone by in our second half, and now Keisham Thigh will lose the dribble. Picked up. Oh, Thigh with a block off the glass, but trailing the play was Kalen Gary. He'll get the rebound and the putback. A miss by Cody Cavanaugh, I believe it was, first with the good defensive effort, but as LaRush was defending Cavanaugh, there really wasn't anybody else there. Now Brian LaRush Jr. will get his first basket since the first couple of the game. He's got 6 points. It's 50-26. That with a layup in traffic. Good play by Junior. Starting 5 out there for both teams. Neither team going very deep. Kalen Garrick to Rhett Ostis. Now a nice feed underneath and a little baby alley-oop this time for Torrey Holland. He's got 2 in a row, and it's 52-26. Gavin Thigh, shiftiness, leaves it with Keisham, but off the side of the backboard on a corner 3, no good. And the rebound controlled by the Bulldogs once again. Up ahead, Ostis, met by Lane Gray, the 8th grader, starting the second half as he did in the first. Inside Gary, outside, down to the corner. It's Kavanaugh looking for three, no good. Loose ball picked up, though, by Gray. And the Sioux will head the other direction. There's Gray Owl for three. Shane with his second of the afternoon. 52-29. Boy, I tell you what, if you're a Lower Brule fan, how you would love to see those guys get hot the way they did 9 nights ago in their Sodax 16 win over Potter County. Here's a feed underneath. Ethan McCune wanted to go up with it. I think he was actually trying to shoot. I don't know if the officials saw it that way. He went up to receive the lob pass, and they were almost going to treat that. Yep, they were going to treat that as an alley-oop attempt, and they do give him 2 free throws. Ryan LaRush is asking for an explanation, but again, I really saw Ethan McCune turn and try to shoot, so he gets 2 free throws, and the first one is good. That's his 10th point. The Smet only has 2 double-figure scorers on average, but I think they have a lot of guys who are capable of scoring double digits. Second free throw here is good. The foul, by the way, goes to Gavin Thigh, his second. So McCune goes 2 for 2. 5 minutes to go, we're in the third. Shane Grayowl has taken a chair, and Leonard Longdo, the 5'10 senior, on for the first time in the second half. Floating jumper here, Brian LaRush from the free throw line vicinity is good. 54-31. Sioux fans looking for some defense, which has been a tall task against the Bulldogs here today. Gary trying to play keep away with Lane Gray. He'll get it back inside the free throw line, steps back, nowhere to go, gets rid of it. Patient offense this time for the Bulldogs. They're down to 5 to shoot, but Gary fires a 3 and hits it from the left wing. Kalen Gary, now with 20 points, has his first 5 here in the second half, and we'll have a foul on the floor here on the drive by Lane Gray, rather. We've hit a media timeout now with 4:08 to go. Quarter number 3, 57-31 to Smet. Every bit as good as advertised. Let's break for 60 seconds and a timeout brought to you by the Jet Lanes and Press Show. Downtown P-Town's #1 fun spot, your place to go for your next timeout. And may I mention, a heck of a meal, too. The Jet Lanes and Press Show. 60 seconds, we're back with more from the State B on KPLO.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in South Dakota.
This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Imagine what it would look like if we didn't have companies to haul away our unwanted things. Just take a second to think about it. Not pretty, is it? Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain can and does clean up that picture. They're here to help with all of your disposal needs, whether it's weekly pickup of household trash or you have a special project that needs a large container. Byrie Brothers will help you with whatever you need done. Give them a call at 234-5771. Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call them today.
Welcome back to Aberdeen. Out of the timeout for the media, Brule ball here with 4 minutes to go, quarter number 3. It's been all DeSmet in this one, but Brian LaRush starting to heat up a little bit for the Sioux here in the third. What a play here. Keyshawn Thigh denying Damon Wilkinson, the big guy who checked in. Wilkinson has his shot blocked as Thigh at first over pursued, but he got back, makes the clean block. So Lower Brule back with it. Oh, Gavin Thigh just got bumped completely out of the lane, but we play on. Misses the shot. Gavin visibly distraught. He got bumped hard off of that drive. Meanwhile, DeSmet with it. Kalen Gary against Longdo. Yields to McCune and now reset back up top. Gary has it again. Sue doubling up on him when he gets the basketball, especially on the floor. Now shot clock counting down. Loose basketball. Wilkinson with the pickup and the put down from point blank range. Here comes Lane Gray, and we'll have a foul on McCune here. Lane Gray was going full bore against Ethan McCune, who's quite a bit bigger, but draws the foul. McCune will pick up his first personal. 59-33, 2:44 to play. It's all to Smet so far. We're in the third quarter. Gray goes to work again. Gives off. LaRush against contact. Misses once, but got his own rebound. Puts it back up and in. Brian LaRush Jr. has 8 points in the quarter. 12 now in the ball game. And Lower Brule starting to get a little more comfortable offensively, it seems, but boy, there's a nice play for Damon Wilkinson. Just a straight up good post move. Points numbers 6 and 7 for the big fella off the bench. Gavin Thigh with a hesitation, stop and go. Shot up, no good. And this is McCune again for his second foul in a row, it would appear. Team foul number 3 for DeSmet. Nope, that's actually number 5, not 2-5. Rhett Ostos has his third. So the starting point guard will check out for DeSmet. Meanwhile, Gavin Thigh comes in. He'll drive hard on the baseline, and he'll get hit from behind, and he may have wrenched something as he hit the floor. As soon as he gets up, he'll be able to go to the free throw line. I don't know if Gavin's going to be able to continue getting help. This isn't Gavin Thigh. It's Leonard Longdo getting help to the bench. I think what happened is Thigh on the drive got fouled from behind, and as he came down, he crashed into his teammate, Leonard Longdo, who at first glance, and trust me, all speculation, he may have hyperextended a knee or something like that, because just envisioning how Thigh came down from maybe behind, I think he might have rolled up on the backside. Gavin for 2 at the stripe, misses the first one. The foul called on Torrey Holland, his third. Gavin Thigh hits the second one, and hard to believe that's Gavin's first point of this basketball game. Torrey Holland with 3 personals now. 61-36, a 25-point advantage for the top seed, the Smet Bulldogs. There's a college-length 3 for Kalen Gary, up no good. Keyshawn Thigh with the rebound. Still with it across the timeline, gives off to Gavin Thigh. Gavin spin move. Boy, lost his footing. He gets the scoop to go and gets fouled. Looked like his feet were going out from underneath him, but he gets the scoop, the hoop, and the harm as it is. And Gavin Thigh with his first field goal. And Torrey Holland will pick up his 4th personal foul. So Thigh to the stripe to try to make it a 3-point play. Shane Grayall checking back in for Lower Brule. Starting 5 back out there. And again, that includes Lane Gray, the 8th grader. As Gavin Thigh hits the free throw here. 61-39. Minute and a half left, third quarter. A station break coming up here, and we get an opportunity. Up top, Cody Cavanaugh with it, looking for the give and go. He got it back despite a tipped pass, and he puts it up and in from short range on the right side. 63-39 our score. Gavin Thigh clearing out, got bumped, gets another layup on the run from the right side, and gets another trip to the free throw line. Gavin Thigh stepping things up here. And that Brule offense now with 17 points in the quarter. Chance for one more with 63 seconds to go. We're driven by the Office of Highway Safety. You're listening to State B boys basketball action with the Lower Brule Sioux on 94.5 KPLO FM. Reliance and Chamberlain 100.5 Pier Ford Pier K263AW. Members of the DRG Media Group. Office of Highway Safety reminding us all, buzz driving is drunk driving. We are also live streaming audio only on the KPLO page of drgnews.com and on the DRG News app, brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino. Wilkinson, 5-footer, rims in and out, no good. Gray Owl down with the rebound. By the way, our live audio stream brought to you by the Kimball Livestock Exchange for KPLO broadcast. Penetration, thigh, kick out. Gray Owl wants a three. This one rims in and out, no good. Kalen Gary down with a rebound, 63-42 to Smet, led by 22 at halftime. They lead by 21 here. Tipped pass, almost taking out one of the public broadcasting monitors to our left, and a nice save by J.J. Hardigan to keep them going. 12 seconds to play. Shot clock off, and Thigh will get a foul here. No, he will not. Wilkinson comes down with the basketball. A clean block from Keisham Thigh, and they call it a traveling violation. Thigh came in with a little bit of a windmill attempt to try to block it. I thought that was a sure foul coming, but it was not. Now Gavin Thigh to Lane Gray, off balance, heaves a three up, it's no good, and we'll go to the fourth quarter. Game number one of the State B has DeSmet on top on the Darren Boyle Sales scoreboard at the end of three. It's the Bulldogs 63 and Lower Brule 42. Darren Boyle Sales is on Sale Barn Road with a lot full of farm machinery, and you can see it all at darrenboylesales.com. As we break for 60 seconds, quarter number 4, up next to the State B with Lower Brule on KPLO and drgnews.com.
Everything you want is yours at the Oasis Sinclair Pump and Pack in Oklahoma. Use your Dino Pay app to save money on every tank of gas. And now they're serving hot food from gourmet grub and hot stuffed pizza. Food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call in your order at 234-5325. Hunting and fishing licenses and ammo and bait are available. Open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mark Muller and his staff are doing what it takes to offer you the best stop around. At Oasis Pump and Pack in Oklahoma, they're proud of area students and their participation in all the many activities that enrich all our lives. Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine are happy to sponsor the state A and B basketball tournaments, and they're proud of the Chamberlain Cubs, Lyman Raiders, and Lower Brule Sioux and all of their hard work and dedication. Congratulations to all coaches, teachers, and parents that support the many student activities. They're all about family at Riverview, and they treat you like family whenever you come into their dealership. Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine in Oklahoma for superior customer service and more ways to get the best deal ever. Learn more at riverviewfamily.com.
Well, we'll go to the fourth quarter here. Afternoon basketball on a Thursday. Day number 1, game number 1 of the State B Boys Basketball Tournament. Glad to have you with us here. Lower Brule with the first possession. Lane Gray tries to get an acrobatic layup to go, but it will not, and DeSmet will come down with the rebound. Gray, the 5'9", 8th grader, going up against somebody bigger underneath. Couldn't get the double pump to fall. Now DeSmet with their opening possession of this fourth quarter. Kalen Gary feeds underneath to Ethan McCune. And his first 2-point basket attempt is good. He's got 13 in the ballgame. 65-42. DeSmet leads by 23. Thigh gets a man in the air from outside. Drives, kicks out. Gray Owl passes against the three. Now Gavin Thigh looking for Keisham Thigh, and Keisham not expecting that. That'll be a turnover out of bounds for Lower Brule. Keisham looks out to Shane Gray Owl saying, hey, let's start launching some threes here. Maybe as Lower Brule. They can get hot, no doubt about that. They're maybe needing some of that to get back into this one, but really the difference in this game has been the DeSmet offense, just very efficient. Shooting percentage has been great. Here's a basketball out of bounds on the far side as Gavin Thigh had knocked one away from Kalen Gary. Thigh tried to save it, but it rolls along that Bulldog bench. Dogs will inbound. They find Gary on the left wing. Lob inside and getting to the other side for a reverse layup. It's good for Damon Wilkinson. Good player off the bench. Very strong one at that, and just a sophomore. Here's Gavin Thigh, pretty roller, or the floater, I should say. Gets this one to go, 67-44, 6.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. Still mid-third in the Class A first game of the day. Vermilion's been trailing Del Rapids all game long, but they are back within 5 at 34-29, about 4:20 to go. Now Wilkinson fouled. Nope, they're going to wade this one off. They'll call it on the floor. He put a layup down. But this foul for Lower Brule is only their second as a team in the second half. And however, it's the third personal for Kesham Thigh rather. Kesham will get a break here. Christian Bishop, big 6'5 junior, is back in. Salmon pink shoes for Christian, looking sharp against the purple and gray. Wilkinson on the inbound play, fed by Rhett Ostis on the left side. Bunnies up and in. Wilkinson got that screen right in the middle and lost Bishop defending. 65, make it 69-44. The lead up to 25 for the Bulldogs. That's about as big as it's been. Lower Brule actually had an 18-17 scoring advantage in that third quarter. Here's Thigh with it on the restart. Gavin spins, penetrates, but kicks out, and it's picked off. Now Gavin, Gray Owl trying to get it back, and we've got bodies all over the floor, and Smet actually able to keep control of the basketball, and a timeout will be taken by Jeff Grunhagen, sensing a potential 5-second violation with some good Brule defense. 5:26 to go in the ball game, 69-44. It's a 30-second break here. Timeout brought to you by the Jet Lanes in Prescio, and we're back with more from the State B on KPLO.
C&B Operations, your John Deere dealer in Chamberlain, appreciates the many young people and educators who are role models and leaders in our high schools, universities, and technical schools. We're glad to support the many area basketball players from this region, including Chamberlain, Lyman, and Lower Brule. Go to DeereEquipment.com and see how we can help you with everything to get ready for spring planting. Or better yet, stop by and see us at C&B Operations in Chamberlain, doing what it takes to make your farming operation more productive and efficient.
First time out called by DeSmet, and again, I think with some pretty good man-to-man in-your-face defense by Lower Brule. That's what essentially brought about that timeout for the Bulldogs. It's DeSmet 69, Lower Brule 44, 5:25 to play. Here in quarter number 4, out of the inbound, a turnaround 3 for Kalen Gary, off the mark, no good. Rebound down to the Sioux, and on the move once again, good straight-up defensive effort against Gavin Thigh this time. That's by Caden Fast, a 6-foot freshman who just checked into the game. Gary gets around Thigh. Now Gavin will reach in from behind. Not a bad foul here for Gavin Thigh. I actually didn't see Kalen Gary put the shot up, but he may have made one otherwise. Gavin will pick up his third. Kesham and Gavin Thigh both with 3 fouls. Just the third team foul for the Sioux in this second half. Under 5 minutes we go now in the ball game. On the move is Gary. Left-hander is up and good. Kalen Gary is a right-handed dominant player, but he's very good with the left hand, and he's putting a lot of shots up and down with that offhand. Here's a nice move. LaRush dumping it back to Christian Bishop. Lost it out of bounds, but a foul had something to do with that. There's a foul underneath. It actually will put Christian Bishop to the free throw line, but first we will have a media timeout here. 4:43 to go, fourth quarter, 71-44. It's all DeSmet, but the big fella at the stripe when we come back after this. Jet Lanes media break in the action. Jet Lanes, for your next timeout, stop in at downtown P-Town's #1 fun spot. The State B, back in a minute on KPLO.
When you're looking for the deal that's right for you, and you want the best quality and service too, I'm gonna tell you about the place that you should try, and this will be the only place where you buy.
For all your insurance needs, KPI Insurance has the protection that's right for you and your budget. Whether it's your auto, home, farm, ranch, business, RV, boat, motorcycle, or more, even all of your life and health insurance needs. KPI Insurance, call us at 234-2323 and follow us on Facebook.
Everything you want is yours at the Oasis Sinclair Pump and Pack in Oklahoma. Use your Dino Pay app to save money on every tank of gas. And now they're serving hot food from gourmet grub and hot stuffed pizza. Food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call in your order at 234-5325. Hunting and fishing licenses and ammo and bait are available. Open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mark Muller and his staff are doing what it takes to offer you the best stop around. At Oasis Pump and Pack in Oklahoma, they're proud of area students and their participation in all the many activities that enrich all our lives.
Back out of the timeout. Lower Brule just trying to put as many points on the board, maybe get some momentum going here in this fourth quarter. Smet has run away with this game, dating all the way back to the first quarter. Christian Bishop actually thought it'd be a 1-and-1, but he was fouled in the act of shooting. Misses the first one off the front of the rim. Second one is good, though. Christian has his third point of the game down. 71-45 to Smet. Thinking back a few years when a Lower Brule team came in here as an 8 seed and played right with the number 1 Bridgewater Emory team. It's a year we had 4 Central South Dakota teams here. This year we've got 3, and we'll take it. Bishop with the pickup of a loose basketball. LaRush the other way, going to be called for a travel. Ryan LaRush going up against 2 defenders. Didn't have the numbers. Tried to make a little sidestep and a juke and a jive, but did not keep 1 foot down or did not get the shot up in time in traffic. So with 4:10 to go, Smet has it back. And a 26-point advantage. Kalen Gary pull up in front of the free throw line is good. You get a chance to watch this kid play. Take the advantage because Kalen Gary is as good as they come. 9 in the second half. He's got 24 points. Here's LaRush, quick fire 3. No rhythm on that one, and it comes up short. Had a defender getting a hand right up into his face. Here's Torrey Holland across the timeline. Gets it back to Gary. 6'3" junior, and now we've got an offensive foul on an illegal screen. Thigh tried to get around Wilkinson with that high screen. And Gavin will inbound off of the offensive foul turnover. Second personal for Damon Wilkinson, and we've got a timeout on the floor called by the Sioux. 3:36 to play in this one. 73-45, another Jet Lanes timeout. Your next timeout, stop into downtown P-Town's number 1 fun spot. We're back in 60 seconds. This is the State B on KPLO.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in South Dakota. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Your mobile device is loaded with apps, but how many of them do you really need? Introducing the app you need. The new DRG News app. Everything you need all in one app. Get the latest news and sports important to you. Listen to your favorite DRG Media Group stations. Watch live and on-demand high school sports video. Contests, polls, community calendar, obituaries. It's all there on your device in one app. The new DRG News app. Brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino. Download it today for Android or iOS. Free from DRG Media Group.
Back at the Barnett Center, Northern State University, the perennial home of the State B boys basketball tournament. Game number 1, 73-45. It's all to Smet, but Lower Brule out of the timeout. Working with it, Keisham Thigh, nifty dribbling. Looked like he was about to lose the dribble, but he gets the control and he puts a 3-pointer down on the top of the key. Puts the Sioux back within 25 here. Gary, space to shoot. 3 ball this time short, and Gray Owl will collect the rebound. He wants to move, but Gary is there to cause some problems. However, as Gary had it on the floor, it was taken away. Keisham Thigh, 3 no good. Gray Owl with an offensive rebound, then he'll lose it out of bounds. Last touched by the Bulldogs, and a keep alive here for Lower Brule. Inbounding off of the right side of the key, underneath. Gets into LaRush, now looking for Gavin Thigh, and Gavin mishandles it. It'll go out of bounds. He's unable to save it. So a turnover here, and we haven't had a lot of those for either team. But it'll go back to Smet with a 25-point advantage. 2:45 to go. Game number one, we've got Lyman and Viborg Hurley coming up next on KPLO. Probably we'll have a short break after the post-game wrap-up. Give and go to Wilkinson. He's misses one, and now a three-ball hit from in front of us. Torrey Holland with Christian Bishop in his face. Holland hits it, and Coach Gruenhagen of DeSmet will take a timeout here. 76-48 our score with 2:25 to play. We'll take a 30-second Jet Lanes timeout this time. Jet Lanes, downtown Presho. Good place to be for a great meal and a whole lot more. Back in 30 from the State B on KPLO.
Cash is king at the Golden Buffalo Casino in Lower Brule. Speed drawings are happening this Saturday. Every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., win $100 cash with 2 random winners receiving $250 cash. Enjoy a 10-ounce mouth-watering prime rib in the restaurant for only $15. This Saturday, there will be $2,000 given away to 17 winners with drawings every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Your winning destination, the Golden Buffalo Casino, where we can't wait to see you.
Gotta love it when those machines sing like that. Welcome back to Aberdeen. Under 2.5 to play, 2:25 to be exact here. Quarter number 4, DeSmet put on a shooting clinic in that first half, and they have continued to maintain well above a 20-point lead throughout this second half. Lower Brule, though, offensively has pretty well played right with them. DeSmet has a 6-point scoring advantage so far in the second half. Leading by 28 now, led by 22 at the break. Out of the timeout, Brian LaRush with a pull-up jumper. Off the mark, no good. Bulldogs with the rebound, left to right across the timeline. Here is Holland. Down low. Caden Fast off the bench. He and Wilkinson. Damon gets it now. They've been the only two in there for DeSmet. There's a nice feed and a good turnaround shot up and in. Damon Wilkinson with 13 points off the bench. Neither team going very deep. Both teams have only gone 7 deep today, but even DeSmet still mostly with their starting 5 in there. Now Coach Gruenhagen will start shuffling people in and out with a minute 41 to go. Loose ball went out of bounds. It stays with Lower Brule. 35, Blake Van Regenmorter, a 6'3" junior, is on. Gavin Thigh fires a 3, and he is fouled by Colt Wilkinson. The 6-foot junior has also come in. This will be the third time Lower Brule going to get a 3-shot foul opportunity. Foul called on Damon Wilkinson, according to the scoreboard, which would be his second personal. Gavin Thigh to shoot 3. First one up, no good, though. 2 more to follow. Second one, no good, off the front of the rim. Wonder a little bit about how tired some of these Lower Brule players in particular are getting at this juncture of the game. It's been a tough ball game, especially trying to play defense against this DeSmet juggernaut. Third one's good. 1 out of 3 this time for Gavin Thigh, 78-49. Actually, I put all of those on Keesham Thigh's stat line. We'll move them up to Gavin's. 78-49. Bench player, that's Van Regenmorter. He gets it to Caden Fast. 3-ball up, no good. Wilkinson underneath. Offensive rebound, falling away, but can't get the putback. But DeSmet gets another offensive rebound. Now a knock away by the Sioux. Leonard Longdo was in this game a while ago. Came down with an apparent leg injury. Has not returned. Brian LaRush going to start moving some people in and out. Lane Gray and Shane Grayowell will come out of the ball game. Ty Ziegler, a 6-foot senior, will come on to play some state tournament basketball. Harlan Longdo in, 5'9" junior. Gavin Fry will check out. Xavier Wynn, the 5'9" junior, stepping in.
And join First Dakota to bank some noise for winter sports. Stomp for block shots, holler for match ceiling takedowns, and go berserk for a perfect dismount. Let's give the home team all we've got. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank.
Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com, member FDIC.
Final minute here of game number 1 at the B at the A tournament at the Big Denny down in Sioux Falls. Del Rapids lead by 5 at the end of 3 quarters. They lead top seed Vermilion 41-36. Here it's De Smet on top 80-51. We welcome you back out of that timeout. Up top looking for 3. Van Regenmorter, no good. Christian Bishop down with a rebound for Lower Brule. Sioux will play it slowly. Ziegler up on the top of the key with 30 seconds to play. Gets it over to Wind. Xavier out to the outside. In front of his bench, it's Ty Ziegler. Backing off. Trying to make a move. Now a bouncer underneath to Bishop. Muscles one up and in. Good for Christian Bishop. That'll be the last basket of the game for Lower Brule. And, well, De Smet actually, I was going to say most likely, but there are 4 De Smet Bulldogs waiting at the scorer's table to check in just to be able to say they played in a state tournament game. Tom Allenbach, Gannon Grunhagen, Trace Van Regenmorter, and George Jensen in to close it off. They will fire it coming up as you listen to the State B Boys Basketball Tournament on 94.5 KPLO, 100.5 Pier Fort Pier, on drgnews.com and the DRG News app, brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino. As our postgame comes up, brought to you by the Prairie Post Agtegra in Presho. It's the State B on KPLO.
The post-game show is brought to you by The Post, the Prairie Post. The Prairie Post is proud to be a part of the Agtegra family and invites you in for hot food on the go, a cold drink in the lounge, hunting supplies, and a quick place to fuel up with 24-hour pay-at-the-pump service. Located off of I-90, The Prairie Post is a convenient stop with plenty of parking and easy access for your RV, bus, or tractor trailer. Stop in and see the friendly folks at The Prairie Post in Presho, proud sponsor of high school athletics.
Imagine what it would look like if we didn't have companies to haul away our unwanted things. Just take a second to think about it. Not pretty, is it? Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain can and does clean up that picture. They're here to help with all of your disposal needs, whether it's weekly pickup of household trash or you have a special project that needs a large container. Byrie Brothers will help you with whatever you need done. Give them a call at 234-5771. Byrie Brothers in Chamberlain. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call them today.
Everything you want is yours at the Oasis Sinclair Pump and Pack in Oklahoma. Use your Dino Pay app to save money on every tank of gas. And now they're serving hot food from gourmet grub and hot stuffed pizza. Food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Call in your order at 234-5325. Hunting and fishing licenses and ammo and bait are available. Open daily 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mark Mueller and his staff are doing what it takes to offer you the best stop around. At Oasis Pump and Pack in Oklahoma, they're proud of area students and their participation in all the many activities that enrich all our lives. Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine are happy to sponsor the state A and B basketball tournaments, and they're proud of the Chamberlain Cubs, Lyman Raiders, and Lower Brule Sioux and all of their hard work and dedication. Congratulations to all coaches, teachers, and parents that support the many student activities. They're all about family at Riverview, and they treat you like family whenever you come into their dealership. Riverview Chevrolet Buick and Marine in Oklahoma for superior customer service and more ways to get the best deal ever. Learn more at riverviewfamily.com.
Welcome back to the Prairie Post Agtegra post-game show as game number 1 in the books. And, boy, I tell you what, De Smet got a little hot shooting some threes. They hit 4 of them by the end of the first period. They hit another 4 or more in the second period. And that hot shooting carries them to a 22-point halftime lead, and they never look back as they defeat Lower Brule here today, to 53. As De Smet leads it all quarter stops 25-14, 46-24 at the half. Lower Brule had a 1-point scoring advantage in that third quarter, but it was still 63-42. De Smet with a 21-point advantage, and they outscored the Sioux 17-11 in the fourth quarter to win it by 27. Biggest lead was at 30, and for what it's worth, I don't know if the clock was running at the time. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it should if it's a state tournament, but at any rate, the final margin is 27 points, 80-53. So we take a look at the stats in this one that have been handed to us. Let's take a look at Lower Brule in this one. 18 out of 46 on the ball game overall, and 5 of 19 from long range. They hit 12 of 17 from the free throw line. So they got to the line. They did a pretty good job at once they get there, but again, just not enough offense and tough to play all that defense that they would have been required to play in order to stay and hang with De Smet in this one. But Lower Brule is led in scoring by 3 12-point scorers. Keisham Thai, Gavin Thai, who came on in the second half, and Brian LaRush Jr. as well, who had 8 points in that third quarter. He scored the first 4 points of the game, then had 8 in the third quarter. He finishes with 12 as well. So Thai and LaRush all with a dozen. Shane Grayowl hits for 7, and Lane Gray with 5 points. Christian Bishop off the bench with 5 points as well, with 53 on the board for the Sioux. But for De Smet, they'll go 33 out of 59 in this ball game, and 58% shooting, actually 55% on the game. What am I looking at? I can never figure these stat sheets out. But at any rate, that's pretty good. 33 out of 59. 33 of 66 would have been the 50% mark. So, yeah, about 58% in this ball game for De Smet, as they hit 10 threes in 26 opportunities, 4 for 8 from the free throw line, and 4 double-figure scores. Their leader is Kalen Gary, as per usual, had 15 in the first quarter, but he finishes with 24. Damon Wilkinson, the 6'7 sophomore off the bench, he is strong. He looks real good, has a really good post game for a younger player. He finishes with 15 points. Torrey Holland and Ethan McCune each with 13. Then Cody Kavanaugh finishes with 9. Rhett Ostis with a pair of threes. He'll finish with 6 points. A 33-23 advantage for De Smet in this one. Offensively, though, 12-7 on the offensive side of things. Leading rebounders are Kalen Gary for De Smet with 10, also Ethan McCune with 6, and Keisham Thai with 8. Shane Grayowl with 5 to lead Lower Brule. Gavin Thai also pulled 4 rebounds down. Ball movement, though, De Smet does it well. 21 assists in this game, 8 for Rhett Ostis, 7 for Kalen Gary. Also for Lower Brule, they've only got 5 total assists, 2 of those from Brian LaRush. The Sioux turned it over 12 times in this game compared to 9 for the Bulldogs, and, well, it all culminates in an 80-53 victory for the De Smet Bulldogs. So they'll move into the semifinal tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Lower Brule will play a second straight game at 12 o'clock noon Central Time here on KPLO tomorrow afternoon. Who will they play? It'll be either the Lyman Raiders or the Viborg Hurley Cougars. That is our next game coming up. We'll have that one after a short break. But we still have more business to take care of here. It's time to name our player of this basketball game. Player of the game is brought to you by CHS River Plains, serving Central South Dakota. We'll hear from them, and then we'll announce who today's Lower Brule player of the game will be on KPLO.
Your local cooperative has a new name. CHS Northern Plains and CHS Midwest Cooperative have joined together to better serve you under the new name CHS River Plains. You gain more options and more value with access to global markets and a powerful supply chain. And you can do more every day using inputs delivered by a team who knows what you need when you need it. Visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in today and let us help you own every day.
CHS River Plains, formerly CHS Midwest Cooperative, and giving us our player of the game, which actually will still say, the T-shirt actually still says CHS Midwest Cooperatives. There are our candidates, and certainly a pat on the back to Kalen Gary going for Smet in this one. Good all-around game, double-double with 24 and 10 points and rebounds, added 7 assists in this game too. But at the state tournament, we keep our Player of the Game awards local, and we're going to go honorable mention to Brian LaRush, who had a couple of flurries in this game. Keisham Thigh played a pretty consistent game, but I really thought Gavin Thigh had a tough task in this one. The point guard for the Lower Brule Sioux was scoreless in the first half, comes up with 12 points in the second half, got to the free throw line, hit 6 out of 9, but he hit 3 field goals there as well. But really, Gavin Thigh had a tough ball game, was getting bounced around at times, could have gotten real frustrated, looked like he was at times, but he kept his composure and really played a good, hard-nosed ball game. So Gavin Thigh, the 5'9 sophomore point guard, is the player of the game in this one for the Lower Brule Sioux. We'll get him a T-shirt noting his accomplishments and playing well in game number 1. But the Sioux come up short, 80-53, the final in this one. Again, our player of the game brought to you by CHS River Plains. Want to remind you on your way to and from South Dakota high school games or wherever you're traveling, as the weather gets warmer, the Office of Highway Safety reminds us all, don't veer for deer. Got to slow down and stay alert. And buckle up, too, from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Before we let you go, also reminder that this broadcast of this postseason game brought to you by this station. Our advertisers and the member schools of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. No rebroadcast in whole or in part may be made without the written permission of the SDHSAA. Our big thanks to the sponsors helping us put Lower Brule basketball on the air. We've got Lyman, we've got White River coming up, we've got Chamberlain on the air tonight as well. But we will take a short break. It'll be Lower Brule playing at 12 o'clock noon tomorrow against the loser of the next ball game, Lyman and Viborg Hurley. But for Lyman Raider fans, your boys coming up here with a 2:15 opening tip. We're going to take about a 15-minute break, and we will be back at about 1:55 to bring you Lyman and Viborg Hurley. Coverage of the Lower Brule Sioux on 94.5 KPLO from the state tournament. As soon as I can find my sponsor sheet. It's brought to you in part by the Becky Pottsabah State Farm Insurance Agency within the ball game by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, May Adam Law Offices, Riverview Chevrolet and Buick, the Jet Lanes in Presho, Ray Hybrid Seeds and your Ray Hybrid dealers, Prairie Post Agtegra in Presho, CHS River Plains, and Darren Boyle Sales. And coverage of the Sioux on the air brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino, First Dakota National Bank in Chamberlain, by Ree Brothers, Chamberlain Ready Mix, Oasis Pump and Pack, Riverview Chevrolet, Buick and Marine, C&B Operations, and KPI Insurance of Chamberlain, with announcements throughout from the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Live stream, audio only for the state tournament on the KPLO page of drgnews.com, made possible by Kimball Livestock Exchange and the Golden Buffalo Casino sponsors our DRG News app, which has games and broadcasts available through the KPLO page as well. Game number 1 in the books. Your final Darren Boyle Sales scoreboard reads: Smet 80, Lower Brule 53. 15 minutes and we're back for the pregame of Lyman against Viborg Hurley. For John Neff in studio, I'm Brian Oakland from Northern State University. Stay with us. We're coming right back in just a little bit. The State B is on KPLO and drgnews.com.